Welcome to CATtheMinion YouTube channel. My name is Theresa, but you can call me Cat. This is going to be a February astrological reading for Taurus. I forgot to take out of the bag. Come on. There we go. Taurus. So the reading that I'm using for this, or the spread that I'm using for these readings for February, I forgot to shake these up too. Oh, where the hell? I found the one that I lost yesterday. It was in my pants. This one just jumped into my shirt, so I guess we're using that. The wheels on the bust go around and around. Anyway, so the spread that I'm using for this month is my yin-yang relationship check-in. So I have 3 cards from one deck over here, and then crossing to the opposite side is going to be the bottom of the deck, and then the bottom of the deck from here, and the 3 cards for over here. So I'm using my phrase deck that I made. Kind of rainbow note cards. And then the other deck that I'm using is the Dreams of Gaia Tarot. So I got the charms here, and I'm using them to get an overview for the readings, to see what it's about. No, I didn't look up the astrological positions for February for the planets and stuff. There's the stuff that's happening in January is going to have an effect on February to some extent, especially because Mercury is going retrograde right at the tail end. There's some stuff that I can sort of guess kind of when it's happening in February, but I don't have the exact dates, which is... I'm finding out there's a reason for that, and it's because there's like a timeline fog. Alright, so let's look at these charms here. I have the masculine figure here. I have it focused right about to here. So here's the masculine figure, light with a spot of dark in the middle, which is appropriate for the yin-yang. And it doesn't really matter where these landed, but it did land here. So I'm feeling this side might be more to do with masculine energy. Other upright charms, I have the dodecahedron. I believe that's water. Yeah, I think it's water. Which, appropriate because I have the fishy. In the Lenormand, the fish has to do with abundance. Here it might mean also related to water or emotions. And the wheel jumped down into my bra when I was shaking the charms. It hopped right out of the box, so that was awesome. And I have the 2 champagne glasses here, which for me, when I look at the charms, is like the 2 of Cups. Make sure I'm reading my freaking chart correctly. Venus and Cancer. Alright. And then the wheel is Sagittarian energy. But it could also have to do with karma. Or completing a cycle. Or steerage. Now, interestingly, I had the dodecahedron, but I also have the tetrahedron. Fire. So we could be dealing with some kind of temperance energy, fire and water, or we could be doing something that's expanding, right? Because we go from something that's only 3 sides, and I have made it, if I can get it, God damn it. There we go. I made it kind of small, so there's the tetrahedron, and here's the dodecahedron. So more faces, more edges, more volume. There's an expansion happening. So what we might be doing is we might be leveling up, right? Complete a cycle, like you're in the first shell of a first electron shell in an atom, and then you complete the circuit, and then you level up to the next shell, which would be the dodecahedron. I have 2 charms inverted here. So I have the acorn, and the microphone. So those are coming in inverted. What do these have in common? Well, I can tell you what they have in common. They're crisscrossy with a little bar in the middle and a part coming down. That's so weird. It's like I'm not getting that it's supposed to be what it is. It's like a visual representation. There's a part coming off here, and there's a little part coming off down here, but they're both inverted. I'm going to get back to that. Hazelnut. What's going on over here? I have water. I have 3 things related to Cups energy. I have 2 things related to fire energy, and then I have a masculine energy, which could possibly be fire, could possibly be swords. But then I have communication growth from a small acorn to a mighty oak tree, and then we have the microphone. Like there's no amplification. It's like it's gonna be a little bonsai tree. But it's inverted. It's like oh, it's not taking root. No matter how loud you shout, how loud someone shouts, what they're trying to convey is not taking root. But there's some kind of masculine energy karmic cycle that's coming to a close. And there's a depth. What's a depth? Freshwater. Ooh. Freshwater fish. Okay. Oh, okay, like a salmon spawning. It's like swimming upstream. Okay. So there's a lot of work involved to go to a higher emotional level for the masculine energy involved with Taurus in order to, it's like, to be heard over the din of all the salmon splashing. Like the sound of the water going over the rocks. Okay. Alright, well, we'll come back. We might come back to that. But there's something about a message that has not been, that's been previously drowned out. Some kind of idea that didn't take root. And it's, you know, whether it's something that was beneficial or wasn't beneficial, there's an idea of whatever's related to that. The cycle is shifting into something different. And the 2 of Cups energy there, Venus in Cancer. Venus is the ruling planet of Taurus. Cancer is the water. I just heard like drown my sorrows a little bit. Somebody might have been drowning out their own voice in their head with alcohol or some other white noise. Interesting. Okay. Where are we at? Alright, so let me get these started here. So we're going to get the bottom of the deck, the Dreams of Gaia, King of Air. I was like, didn't I already see him? But I did my card of the day earlier, and I got the King of Swords. I mean, it's all the same, really. The energy patterns and the focus is slightly different. And I've got this card here. I'm going to turn the rest of the phrase cards over in a minute. I want to do this side first. Desire inverted. Now, I did see this card when I was shuffling, but it wasn't inverted. But what's interesting is that Horus came out in one of the other readings I did yesterday. Desire. 20, the number of judgment in normal tarot decks. 5 of Pentacles. Got an ace up his sleeve. But here's the Ace of Swords, which is interesting, and the Jack of Swords, and a card that you can't see what's on it. The Jack could be a page or a knight. So there could be 12 or 13 there. Or 11. 11, 12, 13. I'm going to have the 8 of Swords inverted. It's a slightly different energy in this deck. Okay. Okay. But he looks like upright. That looks like the King of Swords. Okay, so let me see what this crossover energy is. I'm starting to gain some insight. That makes sense. Notice that's 58 breaking down to 13. This is 14 specifically on here, but kings for me can also be a 1. Let me flip over these other cards here. See what we have. Would you literally die if you stopped following the societal program, comparing yourself to others, number 161? Although the way I have got it written, it looks like the absolute value of 6, which would be the Lovers, which would be a choice or healing. Buy one, get one free, 177. Be sideways, because I don't really need them fucking the long way. Take the long way. Super tramp. Even if you don't believe in it, experimenting with both practicality and spirituality could prove useful. 52, breaking down to a 7, which is Chariot energy. Although individually it's the Hierophant energy, which is Taurus energy, or the High Priestess, which is a Swords energy. A high vibration of the swords. Okay. There's also the crone. 17 is the Starred, 7 is the Chariot. Total breaking down 15, which is the Devil energy, which breaks down to 6, which is this. This could also be 8. Strength or Justice. 8 and 5. 7, 8, 5. 8 and 5 here, 8 and 5 here, 20 here. Okay. This landed on this pile. This guy is the King of Swords. King of Swords energy. I'm gonna cheat sheet here. Oh, he is Capricorn and Aquarius. That means I got it right earlier. Desire. Yeah, that is the goat. That's Capricorn there. And I feel like... Well, Aquarius is usually the man. And the bird would be Scorpio. So Taurus would be the... Interesting. To me, this is like the magician who is transforming his inner world, but the number is associated with judgment. So it's sort of like a combination of the magician, judgment, and the hermit with this card. But there's fire energy, plutonic energy, that scorpionic transformative energy inverted. I'm starting to gain some insight on what my real motivations are. There's something I've not been telling me. I've been drowning it out. I've been blocking the signal. It's not taken root. Now what's interesting is that it's not taking root, and we have red, the color of the root chakra here. It's coming in Pentacles suit, where it's causing some kind of illness in the physical body. But that could be from, like, literally from overdoing it with the drugs and alcohol and substances and snacks, or like my muscles are all cramped up because I spent a week and a half playing, I don't know, Halo or whatever the fuck one of those popular games is. Skyrim. Call of Duty or whatever the fuck. Notice there's a feminine over here, sort of fading into the background. It could be that the masculine energy is in overdrive and not tapping into the goddess energy. And the simple way to do that is by grounding. So there's this idea of needing to take root. But here it's like I'm pretending I'm fine even though I'm cut off or shut out from myself. You know, it's like I'm clenching my teeth so that I don't make emotions. And again, there's an idea of going back to the magician. This is like I'm fronting. Whereas, especially with this inverted, it's like here I'm inside with myself and exploring my inner realms, and I'm letting my inner voice take root and see where it takes me. And here in the inverted, it's like everything's going so well. Not really though, because we have the 8 of Swords inverted. And it's like I'm trying to break, like in normal decks, when the 8 of Swords is inverted, it's like I have broken free. When it's upright, I want to break free. Here, it's like I'm stabbing myself in the hand. And I almost feel like I want to get another card for that, because I feel like there's a block to me explaining what I think that card is right now. Like, I normally don't have that much of a problem explaining the 8 of Swords in any deck. What's the energy? Jupiter in Gemini. Okay, so that's the north and south nodes. At least right now. Okay, so I have integrity, 23, with the Venus energy on it. And very much of a tree there. Okay. Let me see what's on the bottom again. Okay, so on the bottom is 5, the father energy. So it's, you know, it's like this energy is pretending to be this energy. But notice how this would be like the emperor in this deck. And then this integrity is ruled by a feminine, but look how similar these are. They're both sitting in a wood with a tree, and they've got a cat companion. She also has an owl. She's giving sort of Inanna energy. Look, she's got the energy of the high priestess and the Empress together, which normally would be 5, the Hierophant, which is still Taurian energy, right? It's like Taurus and Libra are both of the signs that she rules. Represented by I think that's supposed to be a jaguar more than it's supposed to be a leopard, because it looks quite large. Leopards tend to be smaller. But it's essentially the highest vibration of masculine and feminine energy. nurturing and this idea of integrity. But it's the way that I'm seeing it more as integration. Here this is it's sort of I'm struggling with the integration and I can't make heads nor tails of it. Instructions unclear, dick caught in toaster. Or knife caught in hand. And it's supposed to be inverted. But what's interesting is that this crossover energy is the King of Swords. So somewhere in this, I'm starting to gain some insight. There's a 13 quick transformation available to make it through this I mean, it's an internal transformation because we see that there's something taking root inside and there's emotional stuff involved. Alright, so even if you don't believe in it, experimenting with both practicality and spirituality could prove useful. That's what's going on here with this energy of 5. The Hierophant is when the goddess and the high priestess come together, or the god and the magician come together. It's like I've mastered my use of the base material world, and I'm also mastering my use of the spiritual world. And when that happens, I am the Hierophant, so I am it's like a priest king or priestess, high priestess kind of energy. Is there a word for a feminine version of a priest king? That's weird. Priestess queen, I guess? I don't know. A sorceress, maybe? Buy one, get one free. It's like every element of the mundane has the spiritual in it. And every aspect of the spiritual is based in the mundane. It's sort of like as above, so below. We see that we go from this, I mean, the cube is usually like the earth element, but we go from this sort of condensed space to a more expansive space. It's that same idea. It's like, you know, not like verbatim, but out like metaphorically, this is the day-to-day world of the emperor, and then when you add the magician, you get to this Hierophant world where everything's big over here. And that's where the fish would turn into the idea of abundance instead of just constantly struggling to go upstream. It's like, well, you know, it's like instead of fighting against gravity, it's like you somehow become like your spiritual senses distort the time space around you, and you become anti-gravitic and just float up the stream even though you're going against the current. So what would you literally die if you stopped following the societal program comparing yourself to others? And I think that this energy comes in more when you're worried that other people might ostracize you or perceive you as weak, or they might not like what you have to say to begin with, and you just program yourself to shut down who you are as a person or what you really want to do with your life, to the point where you sort of repeat the pattern in an internal way and just drown out your own dialogue so that nothing that's in your heart center takes root at all. But the transformation that's on the offing for February for Taurian energy is to become the master of your own truth. And I think in some ways the masculine energy is here, partly because of the patriarchal nature of society right now, but because of the king of air. Right? We're not necessarily trying to deal with the Queen of Swords, which is sort of a sort of more, which is funny, is because the Queen of Swords is more like George Carlin energy, like acerbic and witty, and but also creative. Whereas the King of Air energy is like, what, I'm trying to think of who it's like. It's like ooh, this is like Ruth Bader Ginsburg. That's a good analogy. You know, it's like I'm analyzing, I'm looking, I'm thinking, I'm weighing the options, I'm looking at more than one side of it. Here, it's like I'm trying to look at both sides of the issue, and every time I look at this one, I end up, you know, stabbing myself in the hand because I'm having a hard time seeing it, and then in that way I'm still stuck because I'm having an emotional reaction to something. I'm like, oh, it's gonna burn, and then I fumble it and stab myself. So that's what energy is going on. I'm starting to gain some insight that, you know, everything is interconnected, and I don't have to copy everyone in society to have some kind of internal structure and growth in what I need to feel whole, to feel well, basically. Because if there's no resonance in your heart center, no resonance in your solar center, no resonance in your creative center, in the orange and the sacral chakra, then you're gonna end up ill in some way, whether it's mentally or physically. And part of the wellness is to let your body resonate instead of, you know, having dissonance. You know, it's like nails on a chalkboard or pulling cotton apart or something like that. The ability to create an energy pattern that expands without force. There we go. All right, if you want to get a personal reading, and hit me up. I made a new sign today. I'm getting there a little bit hopefully without turning off the camera for no reason. Okay. See if I can. It's hard to tell if it's focused because the bigger writing has a shadow on it. I guess that's pretty good. Okay. So the list of all the readings I have and how much they cost is in the description box under this video. And you can also email me, thecatcamebackatcamp@gmail.com, and I'll get you that list if you want. I have all of this stuff is linked. All of these points of contact are in my link tree. That's linktr.ee/CATtheMinion. And I have merch and prints and actual art items over on Etsy. I have a set of 7 smaller ones. This is 6 inches and they're 4 inches, and there's a rainbow chakra set. And I'm eventually going to have singles like this. So I got a stack of foam over here to work on. I'm trying, I'm getting there. And then I have the coloring books and the poetry book and chapbook packs, which are like synchronicity stimulus packets. I have a lot of psychedelic artwork. And you can get shirts and keychains and postcards and calendar and like posters and stuff. And it hopefully will help change the energy in your place just by, you know, creating a resonant distortion, let's say. A resonant warp in the space-time continuum. By altering the energy flow in the room. So readings, art, products, discounts. If you go through the link tree, that coupon code will pop in at the top. That's 17% off in my Cafe Press if you buy 3 or more items. I guess that's it. I'm gonna have more doll videos in my Adventures with Plastic Crack video playlist. So if you're into that, there's that. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment. Check out my playlists tab, my discussion tab, and stay groovy. And we'll see you later. Bye.